This conference will now be recorded.
It says it's recording, usually 15-second delay, but we're good.
All right, welcome everybody to the meeting of the South Whitehall Township Environmental Advisory Council. Looks like everybody's here. Brian's on the videos, so attending remotely, so we have full attendance. So we'll call the meeting to order, and first order of business is the meeting minutes from the February meeting. Make a motion to those meeting minutes.
I'll second.
Second, no objections.
No, other than oh, sorry.
Always.
Always, always. And not that it's, I don't think it's a big deal, but I'm just looking at it and I'm seeing, okay. Chris requested nominations for the role of vice chair. Frank nominated Sarah Seifert. Sarah accepted. Sarah nominated Derek. Derek accepted. I think it was, wasn't it the other way around?
I thought that Sarah nominated Derek, and he said no.
Exactly.
Oh, I thought she accepted, but was nominating me in addition to herself.
Oh, so, okay,
Oh.
I don't know. I just, I
We
saw
have
the
both.
order of it and I didn't know how.
I thought it went down that Frank nominated Sarah, and then you were kind of like, well, I want to nominate Derek.
Yeah.
And then I thought you kind of said, well, no, I'm going to hold off, hoping that she would take it. But I could have gotten that wrong.
Yeah.
If it's my memory, don't trust it.
Yeah.
The order of events is not accurate in the minutes. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I just looked at it and I thought it was just kind of weird that Sarah said accepted, but then it says Sarah nominated Derek.
She accepted the nomination, but then it's the vote that comes after, right?
So it was kind of like if the
Like-
two of them accepted it, then we'd have to vote for
Yeah.
Sarah, vote for
Or-
Derek. But I don't. Did you accept the nomination?
No.
We didn't
No.
vote
Did
for it.
not.
Yeah.
He most
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
did not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quick.
Yeah.
It was quick. It was quick.
Yeah. He pulled a Lyndon Johnson. I will not accept the nomination. I will not.
I would not be able to fulfill my duties.
There you
Yes,
go.
you would.
See, we have some people in the lobby. I don't know if they are.
I can. Let me see.
You were quick on that too, Derek. You pulled that trigger. That was like before the words could even finish.
Yeah, you're like, forget it.
That's right.
Yeah, Sarah, you tried. You
There you
tried,
go.
Sarah. It was a great effort.
Am I modifying the?
No, you don't have, I.
Okay.
There is no.
Does it.
I'm glad you guys read the minutes.
I read it.
I read it up like 5 minutes. All right, moving on. The next agenda item is the work plan for this year and next year. But Chris did an excellent job summarizing our earlier discussions and consolidating it into a very ambitious, but I think doable work plan. And I had one suggestion that I emailed to Chris. I don't know if everybody had a chance to see that. Just kind of, my suggestion was to, on the transportation action, to just narrow that, to focus on, our work would be focused on access to and use of open space.
And that was in the transportation section.
Yeah. So I suggested a revised sentence, so.
Yeah, I'll take that exact sentence and incorporate that in. I just didn't do it today to
Yeah, okay.
redistribute everything. So
So were there any other comments on the work plan? Suggestions for changes?
Yeah, on open space preservation, this is really tiny, on open space preservation number two, it should say, I think, associated South Whitehall EAC duty. It should also go with number 2 in conjunction with Parks and Rec to make recommendations as to possible use of open space. And if we do that, then all of our duties are covered in our work plan, which I think probably people like me care about.
yes.
Like,
So
yay, we have
you're
lots of
saying there's a, I think I'm looking at it now and it looks like
Yeah.
it's a typo.
Oh,
that
it says that. It just had.
But I just want to
plus.
confirm
Yes,
that, okay.
yes, just make sure it says 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No,
Even-
I'm glad you
Like-
brought it
I'm
up.
sorry, what?
Maybe that was a subtle
No,
way
it
of bringing up
just
my
says-
typo.
Subtle. No, just at the bottom, the EAC duty numbers.
Yeah.
It says 4 twice.
Oh,
Some people-
gotcha.
Which is
Yes.
not what I caught, but anyway, let's
Okay.
pretend that's what I noticed.
Okay, so this one should be 2.
But you thought that you wanted to add that, so
Whatever.
Yeah,
it's
there it
in
is.
there.
We're gonna
but- okay.
pretend
Yeah,
we're all
it says here,
intelligent
conjunction
people.
of Recreation Board.
No,
Oh, you're
that's
right,
good.
it wasn't.
Good-
it was
good
in
catch.
there, Right.
That's right.
Any other comments?
Chris, can I call out under goal number 3 on open space preservation, the bit about considering areas of opportunity for naturalization? Just because we talked some extra about that, and I want to bring that to attention. So, because leaving the last meeting, I realized I didn't have the background that many of you have with the things that have happened before. And so, thank you so much, Chris, for sending out the email with all of the
Absolutely.
detailed work plans and all the things. So I read many of them. And one of them was the Parks and Rec,
The comprehensive
comprehensive
Parks and
plan,
Rec plan, yeah. township plan.
which lists all of the open spaces.
Correct. The open space
Open
quote,
space,
the parks
that
that
are
we
owned by South
consider
Whitehall.
open space, yes.
yeah, which was exciting. And I don't know, I was not aware of how many we already had. And in the work plan, under all of the open spaces except for the one that's farmland,
Mhm.
one of the things that Parks and Rec has considered is naturalizing them. And I think that that is an area where we as the EAC can really partner with them. It's not happened yet at this moment, but that's somewhere where I think I was thinking that makes sense for us. That's where we could step in and be a partner with them. And I think that's stuff that we've talked about, but we hadn't seen where that aligned. And I think that's part of what brought that bullet point.
Yes, absolutely. So
And I just want to
the,
make sure we're all agreed that that's a logical space for us.
So you're not saying change the bullet point?
No, I'm just saying I wanted you all to know some of the context of where that was coming from, because some of that happened, I think.
and we had talked about that
But I'm not
before.
been
We
here
haven't
at
really
all the
talked about it in a
meetings.
long time.
Okay,
And so
fine.
catching up with Emily, and this is probably helpful for Brian as well.
Yeah.
And part of that, I think, just like the kind of order of events, we did the comprehensive park plan, which assessed, what parks do we have, and categorize them in recreation senses. So there's ones that aren't necessarily like a very specific community park. Those we just kind of have a catch-all as open space. When we did the landscapes plan, which you all were part of that adoption, if you recall from the landscapes plan, that specifically classified open space and looked at things like managed natural areas, wild areas, passive recreation, and so forth. And so I think both of those plans pointed to it'd be great to consider naturalization options on some of our existing parks that are just mowed grass. And there's
Yeah.
Emily and I talked about a lot of examples that are just kind of a patch of grass out in the middle of nowhere, not
It's
doing anything for
It's not
anyone.
labeled, it's
Yeah.
not accessible
Yeah.
by the street, so, yeah,
And
Do
so
we,
so that's sort of.
following up on that, do we need to create a mechanism for that collaboration then?
I think what I would like to start with is engaging Public Works in when we do that open space map, when we have all of those and we start to classify those based on like, okay, yes, in the park plan, it's open space, but what actually is it? Is it a functioning open space in one category, or is it just left turf grass? And then talk to Public Works about where we have opportunities that are not, a lot of these open space areas are functioning detention basins that we can't
Right.
mess with. So almost giving us sort of some parameters first. And I think we could do that here. Either that's, I work with Public Works with the map, identify those areas and bring it to you, show that to you guys. I do the same with Parks and Rec. And then we kind of, I don't know if it would be, it'd be tough to have like a joint meeting, but we can certainly invite folks. I don't know if it's going to be as much interest to everybody on both boards. So maybe I'm thinking it'd be something, an exercise of this group, and maybe invite some of the Parks and Rec folks to this meeting. And I think there are some on that board that might be interested.
Just collaborate is sort of a vague
Yeah, it's almost,
goal, right? So I'd like to, if we're gonna take this seriously, I think we need to, be a little bit more specific about what it is we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, in the document, but just
Yeah,
let's
how
agree
does
among
that, what does
ourselves.
that look like?
what we're
Yeah.
gonna do, right?
the
What we
short
have-
answer, I don't know yet. I think it's funny because that's language almost directly out of the EAC ordinance, like at the state level, like not ours specifically, is working in conjunction with Park and Rec Board on open space. But I don't know how others have fared that, how it operates, and I think it's more the interest of those folks. Whereas, like, there are some folks in Park and Recreation who might not care as much as to, you know, designating these areas, and I can ask them as well.
I mean, do we want to say, develop a process to collaborate with Public Works and Public Works staff and Park and Recreation Board to consider areas of internationalization?
To give it more direct context, direct action. I like something like that.
And we're at goal number 3 on page 6 is what we're talking about.
Yes.
Correct.
So what was it again, Frank?
Just put develop a process to collaborate. Everybody's okay with that?
I like the wording.
Mhm.
That was good wording.
I'm sure folks on administration would appreciate that as well.
Wordsmithing is one of my anal attributes.
No, it's good.
You get an A plus.
Words
You
matter.
replace my grade. Right?
All right. Brian, do you have any comments?
No, no additional comments. I think it looked good.
Okay, all right. So no further comments, then I will make a motion that we accept the work plan with the revisions that we've discussed.
Second.
Everybody there for
Right.
work?
I thought we were gonna be going over more of them. Yeah, I want to find the spot that we talked about last time. It's in here, pardon me, because I thought about it today. Okay, here we go.
What
Okay, here we go.
topic are you looking at,
I'm
Maureen?
looking at community outreach.
Okay.
What
And,
number?
Number 1.
Number 2, goal 2. And we had a rather humorous debate about that last time.
Okay,
Page 5. Page 5.
Okay, thank you.
But I think it was very interesting when I decided to look this up. Okay, senior, what is the preferred option, or how people would want to be characterized? It's a big discussion. It's very, very interesting. So I guess I would say, what is the goal there? Is it, do we want to say older adult engagement? And do we want to look at engagement as we're receiving things from them? How can they help us, as opposed, or along with, us bringing some things to them? Because we have a lot of older individuals who've lived on farms for years and are observing all kinds of things with soil, with insects, with their plants, all kinds of things that they could possibly bring to us that we don't know about. So I guess I wanted to put that out there, and I'm not sure about the senior thing. I had no idea there was so much conversation around that.
I took these 2 bullet points from the last meeting. I don't remember who brought it up specifically on talking to the library.
I think you did, Sarah, right? Talk
Yeah.
about
And that I think is where some of the later
Right.
on the agenda came.
Yeah.
And did we talk about, because the library has, whether, I don't know if I thought they called it senior programming, but they may call it something else, but they have like a specific, they have different age groups of programming. And I took the bullet from what I heard from everyone as they already have a set sort of program, and that maybe we're providing a topic for one of those programs, environmental related. And the same with South Whitehall Parks and Rec. We have, again, and I can talk to Lynn Matula about the name, if we should be considering changing the name.
Exactly.
Senior programming is there's specific programming directed at that. Sometimes they'll do like a chair yoga here, sometimes they'll do more like service related things. But the bullet points I took were working with those existing like outreach programs, providing materials environmentally related for that population. But it kind of sounds like you might want to think, is there other more direct engagement that's not necessarily a program,
Yeah, and we can, let's find out. I mean, what are the interests? You can check, Chris, but I believe that the library calls it older adult.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that.
I didn't check for
I
this,
read
yeah.
it. And
Why limit it? I mean, why don't we have youth
Well-
engagement? Why don't we just have adult engagement?
adult,
Yeah,
and
the
does that,
workshops, I mean, the
Yeah.
workshops, we can be open to either way. I mean, the workshop can be just about older adults coming in from the community, sharing stories of before, then and now, bringing pictures of what their property looked like
I mean, we could learn some
50, 60 years
Yeah.
ago.
We
Yeah,
could
I didn't
definitely
think about it from
Yeah.
the receiving end,
Yeah.
but I think that would be super interesting, actually.
That it would be.
So am I hearing that for goal number 2, instead of senior engagement, it could just say adult engagement? Is that
what
sort
we're
of,
fast, yeah.
I mean, I don't see why we have to
there's no
limit it to
reason,
seniors,
yeah,
right?
there's no reason.
Yeah, I took the 2 bullet points
Yeah.
and then
Right,
made
yeah,
senior
yeah.
engagement off of
Sure,
that, so,
sure,
yeah.
no, that's,
But
Fine.
Sarah mentioned it, and so your thought
I think that was the context in which.
Your
Yeah,
thought was when
yeah.
you mentioned it, taking programs to them. That's, okay. Okay, so that was that, but if we can expand that a bit.
I'd love to hear from them. I think
Yeah.
there's a few extra steps to figure out how that, I mean, the ones as written are ones that are, we still have to provide some programming, but people already have things set up. First step, and that may be the right first step for now. But knowing that eventually we want to sort of go farther and do more things.
If I may, specific to like this is something that the Parks and Recreation Department has struggled with in trying to directly reach out again to that older adult population with the goal of reaching older adults and establishing specific programs for them that might be of interest to them. And it is very challenging to get, programs off the ground that I think they've started to kind of partner with the library on things or starting to establish existing groups. I only caution that if you have in this ambitious 2-year work plan, just kind of putting in some, like, what do you really want to accomplish in the next 2 years? And maybe part of that is trying to explore what options are out there instead of saying, oh, we're going to try to, commit to doing this, that, and the other. And it could just be explore opportunities.
Creating programming is gonna be
Yes.
time consuming,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure we're gonna be. I'm not sure it's best use of our time to do a lot of creating programming versus just looking for programming that already exists that we could maybe capitalize on.
So is that gonna be with both youth and adult to explore, as we're saying, to explore opportunities, or have we
With
already
youth, you guys kinda
explored
gave me
that?
very
I'd love for
specific.
that to be part of it. I would love for that. For the youth and seniors, or adults, or whatever you want to call it.
Adults, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of the outreach, just in generically. Topics, creating programs, can be done, I mean, in tandem with what we're doing, but it does take extra work, extra steps. But, maybe I just have a personal little flame for it, and I'd love to see something happen with it, but certainly that takes all the planning and everything.
I think the challenge with youth engagement is it's largely gonna be out of our hands, right? We've gotta have a receptive audience to do it, and so far, we haven't found.
But I think at the last meeting or the past couple of meetings, you guys gave some pretty good, tangible actions, specifically trying to reach out to Dr. Madsen and starting with that and with the goal of maybe getting in front of that environmental club. I think those are really good kind of starting points. And if you're expanding this to adult engagement, I would maybe recommend similar types of tangible starting points instead of just broad, creating programming. Like, is it over the next year and a half, do you want to establish program topics so that you're prepared if then there's a kind of a train you can hook yourself to with other, programs already engaged in community, or do you want to direct more outreach to certain groups of people or to try to figure out what that programming could look like?
I mean, at this point, we haven't really had any significant dialogue with either the library or Parks and Rec, so maybe a bit presumptuous to commit to doing certain things when the first step should be just to develop relationships with those organizations and try to assess what the needs are, right?
You know, we've determined that the Parkland school system is,
It's a
you
challenge.
gotta,
Yeah.
it's like, let's try first. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I should say I have an appointment on Friday. I have lunch scheduled with Lisa Roth, so she's on the school board and part of the library. So I was gonna bring up the topics that we were gonna, the meeting specifically to discuss that. So,
Great.
I know this is not what we're talking about now. I was gonna say that later, but if there's anything, and what I was gonna discuss was really what is available. What can we kind of build off of and not recreate the wheel and not,
And
go.
who are the proper points of contact? I think is
Exactly. And that was part of, she's gonna come ready with those and who's the right person to talk to and things. So
Well, then,
then we have that at least to
yeah,
go
well, I
on,
think that's great. I think that's great. And then under agenda 4, and we're gonna talk about it, but item B, the reason I brought up that film screening is it's right up our alley.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to do. And here we are going out into the community, we can just be there as far as I know at this point with the library. Just be there, we're EAC members, and our contribution to this, and we've done a program, or we've participated with the library in a program, gets our name out, so that was the thinking there.
I wanted to ask you about that, like how.
And my proposal would be that we do the same thing that for Earth Day and for this presentation, so kind of kill two birds with one stone. We could have, I'm thinking we have 2 slides, 2 posters. One is, here's what we accomplished in 2025. Here's our work plan for 26, 27. And that's our, and then we just have somebody there to talk about that with whoever's interested. And then we participated in both events.
Yeah, I think those are excellent starting points to figure out, where you need to navigate. You can understand, well, once they see your work plan, what you're focused on, these next 2 years, they either public or I think there's other groups involved in the library. I think they have an environmental club. It's a great place to see if there's any synergy in that, and maybe that, develops more of a specific program.
But I think that, my opinion is, I think that's the best way for us to participate in these 2 events is to just kind of be there to inform people about who we are and what we're trying to do.
Agreed, yeah.
So for goal number 2, how would you like to kind of reword this? Because I think it is important to make like an achievable goal on this. I worry if it becomes too broad, it becomes something that is hard to kind of make steps to. And I think it'd be great to show good success with this and then kind of build off of that. I mean, this is only the next year work plan and you guys are doing a lot of stuff, so.
I would say we establish relationships with the Parkland Community Library and Parks and Rec Department with the goal of developing joint programming.
Because when we had the first one under goal 2 says partnering with the community library on programming, environmental programming. It would be if we decided to keep it that way. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Because that's us, on environmental program. We're not going to go to the program that reads to the dogs, which they do, but that's not us, so.
That's not us.
That
sounds like
fun. You want to go read to the dogs?
Yeah, it's an excellent point though, yeah. So establish relationships with Parkland Community Library and Park and Recreation Department to.
With the goal to develop joint environmental programming.
And not read the dogs.
It's okay if we want to read the dogs. Individually, we can read.
I thought the dogs were reading us.
Yeah.
Really,
He's
tell the
trying
dogs.
to,
We don't have to read dogs.
How to environmentally safely get rid of your dog poopy.
Oh boy, don't go there. Okay, very good.
All right, any other changes that anyone wants to suggest?
Go for
That's what
it.
There's not that much on the agenda.
And then I
We can go
think,
through
I
it.
think goal 2 should be adult engagement also.
Yes, I
Yeah,
believe that,
it should be
yes.
adult.
Yeah, just adult, yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Although no, sorry. Although the thing that we're talking about with the Caterpillar thing would technically be youth engagement.
Well,
So I don't know,
Yeah.
right? So I don't know.
It will be both. You will, yeah, it will, and because.
But it's an interesting challenge. Should we put Parkland Community Library also under youth engagement, or I don't know,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, do you want to change goal 1 to like a
school district
school district
engagement,
and then goal 2 additional
other
program?
other groups could be that would be sort of more related to how we're thinking about it.
Because I mean, really, that first goal really is specific to the school district.
Yeah.
So do you guys like that Parkland School District engagement and then
Community organization engagement? I don't know. Not someone maybe has a better word.
So are we saying pursue engagement opportunities with Parkland School District and Parkland Library?
we're just talking about for this first one, changing it from youth engagement to specifically Parkland School District engagement, because you have kind of this standalone goal of reach out to the school
Oh, gotcha.
district
Gotcha.
with actions associated with that. The second one would be shifted to community organization, outreach, engagement, partnership. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I kind of like partnership because, and community organization, because it could go beyond. I mean, we have the, like we have other groups that have come in that maybe, there's programs to be developed there, like watershed stewards and so forth. So
what's happening is we had youth engagement,
Right.
and we were talking about our target audience, right, for goals 1 and 2. And now we're wondering, because in goal 2, we have community library, which obviously we could partner with them in more than just for older adults. We can partner with them for kids and all the, So we're now wondering, instead of thinking about our target audience, should we have goals 1 be the target organization that we're working with, the school district, and goal 2 be other community organization partnership? We would still want to outreach to older adults and to youth and all that stuff. Oh, we have to organize how we're writing it. So it's just changing what the goal is titled.
and that's
I
almost like a good half step to reach out to the organizations first and then
Which
figure
relates
out.
to how we're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then it kind of parallels what we're doing with Parkland School District.
Yeah.
In terms of the logic of the approach.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
It makes the first one stronger than 2, because if we say youth engagement and really the only youth engagement is through the school district, then really we should be saying the school district, because otherwise we're limiting it,
No.
I think it sounds really, really good as well, just in seeing very specific goals over the next, I mean, it's not a lot of time. This isn't a 5-year plan. It's like, you're going to have a meeting this week, and then from that, they'll stem more from there and continue to, try to reach out to school, check those boxes, and then you adapt and go from there. And it just kind of shows the progression.
Okay, so we're doing this, Chris, and this, then you're taking down all the suggestions, and then this will get the rewrite.
Yes.
Okay, will we see that at a meeting before it goes to the
You
commission,
can,
or
if
does it
you,
set
I
this?
didn't anticipate this many comments, so it's up to you guys. I think Frank's motion was to adopt it with the comments, but if you guys want it to come back, we can certainly have it come back. I was just thinking of them,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
My motion would be to accept the document with the comments and revisions that we've already discussed.
And I can always send it out. I think if you guys, I don't think that, and I'd have to see, I mean, I think you can adopt it if you discuss it here. If there's anything that when I send it out, I can send it out ahead of the next meeting. If there's any flags on that, let me know, and then we can talk about bringing it back if it doesn't go that way. That's just an option as well. I'm just trying to avoid adding it to another agenda as I think we want to get into other, and the sooner this gets adopted, I'd love to get this in front of the Board of Commissioners as well.
Are we beholden to, if it's not on the work plan, can we not do it?
No,
This is really no danger in.
No, and this
adopting it.
isn't a,
Yeah.
yeah, the annual report that we looked at last meeting is a specific requirement of the ordinance, just that you're summarizing your activities for the board. And that's similar to every other board that does that. This work plan, no one else really does a work plan. This is more, I think, for the benefit of the board to kind of know what you guys are looking to do. I think it's a huge benefit to me to start to think about agendas and to kind of schedule things out. And I hope it's a benefit to you guys to like have some direction on, hey, we have things that come up every month and there's great opportunities for like an event or something, or we had this meeting, but we always go back to like, hey, let's try to work through this item in the next couple of meetings. It's kind of putting something on your radar. But stuff
So,
always
yeah,
comes up.
I'm gonna side with Frank, and I think we should finalize it, because again, it doesn't hurt.
I agree.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay, so all in favor of accepting it with the revisions discussed?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Okay, great. Motion passes. Great. So now let's move on to agenda item number 4. Got some events coming up, some of which we started to discuss already. First one is the Total Recycle Tour, which several of us registered for. Some of us were accepted, some of us
Are waiting.
initially accepted maybe. So Mark, you've been accepted to attend, right?
Yeah, and I'm willing to give up my spot for either Maria or.
I'm good, I'm in.
Oh, you wait.
Sarah's waiting.
Yeah.
Sarah, you know, if you can't get in, please take my spot. Please, I would be honored. And it just, don't embarrass me. Baby crap.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome, Sarah.
So we'll have either 3 or 4 of us attending. Talked about carpooling. I would suggest we meet here at the Township Building at 11 on next Tuesday. And then we can figure out a carpool from there. But I checked Google Maps and it says it's going to be at least an hour to get there. And it's 12:15 from the most. I know Brian said he registered for the virtual tour, which is going to be that evening. And for the rest of us, let's see what we learn on the tour, and then we can decide whether it's going to be worthwhile to schedule our own tour, maybe invite township residents or, it sounds like, this tour is accepting 30 people, so it sounds like they can accommodate a, reasonably sized group. So we're going to go back a second time.
I think we would want staff as well. I think
Yeah,
there's definitely
so-
interest from staff if you guys wanted to still do that like normal business hours tour. For whoever can't go from EAC, we'd certainly probably have a couple staff.
And we'll see. Maybe the next tour is scheduled in the evening to make it easier for those of you who have to work full time. So, let's just kind of revisit this next month and see what we've learned from the tour, and then make some decisions about what we do as follow up.
So Sarah, so let me know if what you hear, just communicate with me. Okay, and then we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Because I have no problem.
Yeah, we don't want Mark to show up next Tuesday and then tell him we can't go.
Yeah.
It would be the first time.
Actually, I will make an offer if people wanted to show up here at 10:30. We can stop somewhere before we get there, and I will buy lunch.
Okay, so, sure, you're out.
Can I bid on that ticket?
We can negotiate now.
So 10 people be here at 10:30?
Yeah.
I had planned on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting here 10:30, and yeah, because I would just bring lunch, because I know I'm gonna have time.
Well, I'll look and see what options we have, maybe nearer to Birdsboro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you gonna hear, are they gonna get back to you about me?
His note to me was, he will contact you. Okay, and later this week, I think he's waiting to see who's gonna, is
Okay.
anybody else gonna cancel, is something else gonna happen? And but he did contact you and say, you're on the wait list.
Yeah.
See, I was on the wait list, and then all of a sudden I wasn't.
Yeah, I just got an email saying I was, you know, I was registered, and I didn't get told I was on the wait list or
Yeah,
anything.
Because you
so-
guys were quick enough. You got it.
Yeah, we don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Okay,
I follow Frank's lead. He says, do it.
But you were told you were able to attend before I was told, so I don't.
right, and and it was only because I was on the wait list. He just wanted me to know that I was off the wait
Okay.
list and
Yeah.
now in, so that could very well happen to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 10:30 next
Just in time.
Tuesday, we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
who can go. Okay, great. Next item, the community library has a film screening. Ree, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, I'm,
Brought this to us.
well, okay, so I'm a little confused here, Chris. It says film screening / butterfly pavilion kickoff?
That's how they talked about it on their agenda. I don't know what the butterfly pavilion is. If it's an inside thing or outside thing. I think it's something that they, like a program. I mean, it's a physical thing. I don't know if they're growing butterflies in the library, or pavilion makes me think it's outside in the pollinator garden. But I believe that's in line with the film that they wanted to do, specifically a butterfly film associated with whatever they were trying to do there.
Yeah, I think that's a separate film. I'm
Oh.
gonna make a guess, because when I talked to the library about it, they told me they were looking at an evening event, like a 6 or 6:30, which I thought was good.
Okay.
And they said they were gonna get back to me. I told them we were meeting tonight, and I said, any information you can give me would be great. I didn't get, and I reached out again today, and I didn't get anything back yet, but the original communication was they were thinking the evening of the 23rd.
Okay. I assumed it was evening, but I looked it up and I thought it was around that time at 12. And then that's where underneath that I put in that they had that Eco Action Crew Club from 6 to 7:30. I would assume that they would have it together, but
Are both of them on the 23rd?
yes.
Oh, okay, see, yeah, I'm still waiting to hear. This is a bit confusing to me, because that's not what I was told.
Okay.
And really, the film screening, I'm looking at that as for children, like, I'm gonna say, like 10 and up into adults. I mean, I don't know that little kids are gonna.
It did change. So this was at noon previously.
Okay.
When I swear that, because I remember thinking that I'll take my daughter to it. And then I saw it was at noon and I thought, oh no.
Okay.
So, okay, we'll make that change. That makes a lot more sense.
Because you know one now more than I do.
Yeah, the film screening and butterfly pavilion kickoff is now at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Which is what
Oh,
is
okay.
aligned
So I
with what you were hearing.
Right.
Yeah. So you were correct. When I looked initially on the calendar to confirm, yeah, I don't know if they changed it or if it was, I swear it was at noon because I questioned it.
Yeah, okay, so it's gonna be that film and this butterfly pavilion kickoff thing together at what time?
6
6
p.m.
on the
according to,
23rd.
Okay.
here's the event.
And join us with, oh,
For
good.
the launch of
Yeah,
our,
it is.
now when I read this, oh, here, more details. The launch of our butterfly pavilion. Okay, so this is excellent because it includes the Eco Action Crew, which was one of my concerns of like, well, there's also this Eco Action Crew, but will they be there during, so it sounds like everyone's gonna be there at the same time in the
Yeah.
evening, which is excellent.
Okay, so that's at 6:30 or 6, I'm sorry,
6 to 7:30.
6 to 7:30, because
I don't know where I saw that.
the movie is in about an hour.
Okay. Yeah, and it says 6 to 7.
Oh,
And it did say 6 to 7:30 on
all
the.
right.
Yeah.
Does it say that, 6 to 7?
It says 6 to 7 on this one. And here it says, oh, here it says 6 to 7, but I swear on here.
I don't
Where
know
did
where
I
got-
see
where did I get
7:30?
7:30? I don't know.
On here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, maybe. Eco
Well, we
Action
should all
Committee.
assume that it'll
Thank
take
you.
some extra time. Whatever, that's fine.
Okay. That's,
You need time to be eco action.
Yes.
So Marie, did you talk to the library about us participating?
What I said was, this would be something that the EAC could potentially partner with you as something, a community type of thing, is how I worded it to them. And so, but I never agreed, like, there's a license involved with this. So I didn't say anything about EAC paying for any licenses.
No,
I took
yeah.
a person I know at the library who does adult programming. And so, yeah, adult programming.
Not senior programming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get it straight.
Let's-
And it does look like they have a sponsor, so that part's
Oh,
covered.
good, okay, great.
Yeah, by the Homegrown National Park, who I'm assuming probably paid for the license.
Oh, no, wait, who's the sponsor?
Homegrown
No,
National Park.
Homegrown is who's offering it.
Oh, okay.
Homegrown wants to get this film out there.
Okay.
Okay, they had that film made, okay, working with the film company. So, I looked at it when I spoke with her as something that we could be there, partner with, just saying who we are and whatever else we want to say for April, for that date, because we probably won't meet until after that.
We won't.
Yeah, so whatever we would want to say, like Frank said something about, do we have posters, do we have hand,
Yeah.
I don't know the answer.
If you guys can confirm specifically what like the library is willing to have there as far as like EAC involvement, and if you guys want specific information, I'll work to get that together, easels and poster board and everything like that. I'll try to make this event, but I cannot guarantee that I can be like, oh, get it to whoever's gonna go there earlier, whether it's earlier that day,
Okay.
just to take it over, or I can even drop it off over there, but I am gonna try to make this one.
Okay.
Yes.
And we can communicate all that via email.
So again, I think we should try to, duplicate what we're gonna do for Earth Day for this event. So, since they're only 2 days apart, and so, I think it'd be a little too much to try to create separate content for both events. So, first thing is anybody available the evening of the 23rd to attend? We probably need at least two
Yeah,
people.
It's an amazing film. It's amazing. Adults will be,
I'm happy to go. I don't know if I'll have my kids with me or not, but I can.
it's amazing.
Yeah, I would like to try to go, but I'm gonna go as a member of the public.
Sure.
Hopefully with my daughter, we probably won't stay for the whole thing, but.
Right,
Yeah,
so I'm like, I don't know if I can.
Okay, so,
Dinner, it's like
can
right in the
we-
middle of dinner time,
Yeah, I know.
so.
but Emily, if you go with
I'll
your
go.
kids.
I don't know if if I would, I might not go with my kids, just because it's the middle of dinner and I'll just abandon them to my husband. We'll just
Okay.
survive, I suppose.
All right, so if
You're
you go,
talking
you'll go
April
as a-
20.
I put on my phone calendar, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but we won't have a meeting
No.
until that Monday
Yeah,
after.
27th
It's
is
the last.
our next meeting. So we'll have Marie and Emily as our official representatives. And if anybody else wants to attend, obviously they're welcome to.
Oh, yeah. It's an amazing film.
And at 6, we arrive here like 6. Get a little before 6.
Oh, yeah, if we're,
Yeah,
I'll talk with them.
yeah,
It's gonna be in the library, not here.
Right, I
So,
understand.
Yeah.
that far way over there.
You need a chance to name a caterpillar.
I mean, come on.
I might have to rethink.
Yeah.
You're right, and that's all news to me. They really ran with this thing, I guess their little caterpillars, whatever they're doing, whatever they're releasing,
Yeah,
that's all news to me.
yeah, it's cool. Okay, so I will communicate with you two on getting materials once we know what those materials are, and I'll have those for you maybe
Yeah.
on the day of or something.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence, having just joined, that I know what materials
Well, I
other
think,
people
yeah, I
have
think,
ideas, but
yeah,
yes, I can pick up materials and.
that's what I mean, just the pick
I'm on
up,
board,
because
yes.
I'll have to,
That's.
I don't know if
not a
I'll
problem.
leave actually, because I usually meet my in-laws who bring my daughter here, so they might just,
Whatever, I'm happy to
Well,
deliver
what are the
materials.
materials exactly?
whatever you guys want to talk about.
So that's next, right?
Oh, okay. Well,
So again, the proposal is whatever we prepare for Earth Day would be the same materials we use for this event. So again, I mean, my proposal would be 2 posters. One is accomplishments from 2020, EAC accomplishments from 2025, and then the second one would be EAC objectives for 26 and 27, which we pull from the work plan. Just really high level stuff. I mean, I don't think we want to put like a whole bunch of words on the posters. Just enough that people come up if they're interested. We can talk to them about the specifics behind that. So like each poster maybe has, I don't know, 5 or 6 bullet points.
I still have a bunch of handouts on EAC in general as well, if you want
Okay,
those.
so we could have those there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Okay, so who's doing this poster? I don't blame
I
you.
can throw something together. It's not going to be pretty, but
Chris and I'll work on it.
unless you guys want something really, I mean, I can kind of throw something together.
That's all right. I just didn't know who was doing
But like the last time, you guys had really nice posters, but Sarah made
They did,
those.
yeah.
I mean, I don't mind, I mean, I'm really just asking my husband.
I can give you a draft
Should
if
we
you want
hold
to
it
pretty it
Yeah, I
up.
mean,
Or we can talk, but what I'll do is I'll kind of work with Frank on the specifics, what you wanted to say on the content.
Do you want to be involved in developing the content too, or just
Do you want your
Visual.
husband involved?
No, just give us what you want, and then we'll just make it look pretty.
and
Yeah,
then you can
and
print it here, right?
Oh, yeah.
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 All right.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll just put it on that big poster board that we have that we just keep reusing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It'll get thicker.
And
It
believe me,
will, yeah.
it's nothing that you would be uncomfortable with. You'll understand, you'll.
I'll be fine with I just didn't want to be the one deciding what the content was.
Okay, I understand.
But I'm happy to
I mean,
talk about the stuff.
You would be good at it anyway, you don't give yourself.
Well, I'm
well, I
allowed to
mean,
be
we
nervous
reviewed
about things.
the accomplishments last month. So
Yes.
you know what those are.
Yeah.
We're reviewing the work plan now.
I
so
just
you know
don't
what
want the
that is.
job of telling what the content is. Once it's behind me, I'll talk about it. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
he's not listening to the minutes.
if when, I'm not quite sure how the library will introduce this topic. So if they introduce it and say they're working along with us, do we say anything about us? Other than go over to the table? Or do we say anything?
I'm happy to say a few words about, what we are and how we function within the township. And
Yeah, I'm fine.
I mean, you could.
Yeah.
I mean.
I wouldn't
the
want it to go too
EAC
long.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
make
there's
them
a-
interested, not
Right.
bored.
Right, the EAC description, I mean, you can read
Yes.
the first couple sentences of
Yeah.
that, and that's probably,
That's fine.
yeah.
Yeah, so that, they might want to do that.
And you'll confirm that, or you're meeting with Lisa?
This Friday.
Okay. Is this Mary Ann that's running this? Is she a part of, I would just, confirm with that, and then that way, yeah,
Well,
if you guys need anything.
Mary Ann is the person I've been talking to
Mhm.
about this program. I mean, the fact that it's up there is a hoot already, you know? I mean, she goes, I'll get in touch with you with the details. I haven't heard boo.
Yeah.
And you're telling me about the details. Like, geez.
They
I'll call you on Friday
put stuff
after
out
the
pretty
meeting.
far ahead.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I'll call you on Friday after my meeting and Lisa, and just kind of just bounce off of you what, certainly I'll bring everything to the next meeting as well, but just,
This is the last meeting before this.
But things beyond that, because you're not just talking about this particular thing, you're talking about the
yeah,
school,
I
Yeah.
have a
all
whole
the
list,
stuff,
I have a
yeah.
whole, like,
Yeah.
thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, right. I
So
have a whole list
let's
of-
put that on the agenda for next month. Will be
Just
Sarah's
will
forward.
decide on
Yeah.
our meeting with Lisa Roth.
And I'll put it in an email, but basically it was a lot of things, the youth engagement, the older adult engagement, really how we can get involved, because I know the Boy Scouts go there and the Girl Scouts go there, like, that would be part of the youth engagement outside of the school district. Just seeing where we can kind of find a little piece of that.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunity here, so it's a little frustrating that we haven't found the right way in yet.
Yeah.
Because I think we have a very productive partnership here. We
Mhm.
make the right
And the
contacts.
school, getting the right contacts for the people.
Yeah.
And then maybe just having a soft, having her kind of do the introduction would also help.
So Frank, you and Chris are gonna be sending that information to Sarah for the boards, and then your husband is gonna be putting those together. And so then,
Send it back to Chris so he can print the posters.
so, yeah, okay, so we'll be getting those posters from
Yes, I
you,
will communicate with you two
Yeah.
on getting that stuff into
getting
your
the
hands
stuff.
that
okay.
week or that day.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So just a timeline and just.
And we'll bring it back here, because then the covered bridge thing is, you want it back, or just,
I'd
I'll
like if
take
you
it
guys
home
could
with it?
keep it.
and
If
then
you
bring
want to
it
keep
to-
it here, that's, well, no,
Not
because
ideal.
no. Yeah.
Okay, then one of us
Yeah.
will take it home. That's fine.
The poster boards fit in your car.
My Beetle.
Yeah.
I have a minivan, we will.
Oh,
it'll
cool.
be
Yeah,
fine.
they're
Yeah.
huge poster boards.
Oh,
They're like,
fine.
yeah.
I have
More
been
than happy.
lots of, many
Yeah.
bikes, so many bikes.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
So just a timeline quickly, so that the material, that what you want on the flyer is, flyers is gonna come to me like, what does it?
I'll try to work with Frank maybe
And the
this
next-
week.
And the next week.
Yeah, or
And
in the
next
next week on.
And then how long do I have to get it back to you guys if we're looking at the end of next week?
We're running into
It's-
Easter,
I know
just
it's-
FYI.
Yeah.
Calendar here.
April 23rd.
I don't know how much that
So-
disrupts your life, but.
If that's finalized by the 3rd, you still have really, almost 3
Yeah.
weeks to turn it around.
Okay.
I'll need to, yeah, I'll have to look. If I can get it kind of maybe Tuesday at the,
Because we need it Thursday.
you need it Thursday, Tuesday at the absolute latest, Tuesday the 21st.
So we need it by the April 21st.
Yeah. Ideally, end
The
of the
17th
week on
would be
the,
great.
yeah, the
So
17th
let's
was,
just say the 17th.
So
Yeah.
when does Christine, by the 7th?
17th. But the content is quick. We have the work plan now, we have the stuff, I can probably
Half
just,
an hour.
yeah. And if
So we.
If I'm not worried about making it
we
look
may have to do
nice.
Much sooner than the end of next week.
Yeah.
And as far as like graphics go, we've used that beautiful backdrop
Mhm.
before. We could go along with the same theme as that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like the grass. You guys
Mhm.
see it.
I have a bunch of pictures, like leftover pictures from landscapes plan and things like places in the town, if I can just send you.
Just send it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
perfect.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is with that film, libraries, they pay the licensing fee, as I understand it. But they have the option of showing it for 3 years.
Hmm.
So I was shocked by that. So I need to find out from Mary Ann, is that correct? I don't work at the library, what do I know? But that's what it was saying on the material that I got. And I thought, well, what would they do with it for 3 years? Would they be showing it ongoing at various times? I don't know. I have to ask her. I don't know what that means. But they have their way of, there's a process for that. I don't know what that process is.
Certainly, yeah. This is a great turnout. Then,
Yeah,
Where do they show it in the library? Do they have a room that?
they do have a large.
They have
room.
a,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's
with
bigger
it.
than this room.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's about twice the
All the way
size.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
they have dogs in there. They do dog visits, dog reading books,
Yeah,
and dog visits.
Yeah.
There.
I gotta see those dogs reading the books.
Yeah. You
I knew they
gotta
could play
come.
poker, but I didn't know they could read.
Yeah.
No, they
It's fun
read
to
to the dogs.
Yeah.
Now, the dogs look interested. That's all I can say. I don't know.
Turn the page.
And then how
I see
does-
dogs driving cars on TV. so
Yeah, right,
why
right,
not?
yeah.
They have to get the license somehow.
Yeah, exactly. So this Eco Action Crew Club, Chris,
Mhm.
is that through the
all I
library?
know is what I read
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
what
Oh, darn it, I'm glad you asked that. because
Yeah.
I was
I'm thinking,
like,
are they
is there-
I would bring it up in your meeting. It
Let's-
sounds like a great,
Yeah, let's find out who they are. Maybe that's a
Who are they?
partnership. opportunity,
yeah.
I was thinking it'd be a rumble.
I think it's kids. I think it's like a youth program that they do. I thought I saw that it was like,
No hitting people with the post-it notes.
Yeah, who'll be the last
where
one?
did I see that?
Screw you guys.
Okay, so okay.
I only know
All
from
you know is the
looking,
name.
yeah. Here,
Kids.
I love
Yeah.
how they're.
Is it part of the?
Fun, energetic kids club.
Oh, as part
You call
of
me
the
Jake.
library.
As part of the library, yes,
That's
yes.
what I think.
yes.
It's still on that. April special event.
Oh, and yeah, look at that.
Mary Ann was, they jumped on that.
So let's see if we can find out who runs that, right?
The Eco Yeah, Action Crew Club, yeah. Excuse, I can ask her that. Are you familiar with Mary Ann? Mary Ann?
Yes,
You know
yeah.
Mary, okay. Who runs it, right, Frank?
I mean, I love that Eco Action Crew.
Yeah, what do they do? Cool. It's like I gotta get on that library website and start reading.
Jumpstart one of our goals.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Earth Day for a minute. So we need people to be at the park on Earth Day. I can be there
I'll
on the
be there.
26th. Emily, would be
Yeah, I'll be
nice if
there.
we had
25th.
25th, right,
25th,
sorry, yeah,
yeah.
25th, yeah.
I can be there for sure as well,
Okay,
if I'm needed, if there's, yeah.
okay, so why don't we say Emily, myself, and Sarah will be the EAC representatives.
Yeah, I could probably be there too.
Yeah, come.
Is there like booths again, like with the other ones, or are we actually doing the work?
Yeah, I don't actually know. I'm sorry. I should have connected with Lynn before this. So it's not going to be like other events where there's other vendors. But if you guys want a booth, I could see about getting like a table down there and a tent down there. Just
I think
let me know what you
I think we
because
should have a table,
yeah.
maybe a tent.
Because
Last year was raining, so.
Yeah.
Last year we just did planting. Yeah.
What-
Your birthday. I
are
know
you-
just,
Well, I
but
wasn't
you went.
EAC yet, but
Yeah,
we
but
planted. You
still,
were planting.
that was the Earth Day event. We just came and we did.
That's
planting.
all that this is.
So I don't know that there's,
Where did I see something about?
So I don't think we should work the event. I think we
I
should be
know.
there to talk about what who the EAC are and what we do.
Okay.
Are there any snacks or water provided?
Typically, I mean, last year they had stuff for the volunteers. They were making hot dogs and everything.
Yeah.
So why don't we see if we can distribute the refreshments?
That's a great idea.
Oh, that's good.
That's a
So
great
then
idea.
we're serving a roll while we're there,
Yes.
but we also have our posters, so we can talk about the EAC, and we're not, because if we work the event and we're just 3 more people
We're having
planting
fun.
trees,
Yeah.
right?
I know, I
That's
did,
the
I
good
so
stuff.
I loved it.
But we're not really.
Yeah.
My
not-
kids will be there. And the fire truck came, they were spraying the kids
Yeah.
in the fire truck.
I'll
And
be
that truck
honest.
came with the bugs, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was sure. The truck came with the bugs, that you could scoop water out of the.
Oh, was that?
Was that there?
No, that
Yeah.
was,
That was a couple years ago.
that wasn't last year.
No,
Last year was
Stroud
raining.
wasn't there.
Yeah.
How was it
There would have
there?
been
The-
no call for a fire truck to spray people down. We had rain doing that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
No, the fire truck was definitely there.
Fire truck
But
was
that's because the
there.
firefighters were there. The firefighters were there volunteering. But yeah, I remember that.
Last year? I hate that.
No, the Stroud, the watershed mobile, I mean, that thing was great. That was a couple
Yes.
years ago. That was the
Was there.
event we did
Yeah,
for
I
the
was there.
landscapes plan. And I'd love to get them back if you guys want to think about that, as a
We'll
future event.
get that,
I will say, I have some issues with the Earth Day event only because I don't know what the expectation is. At this point, I don't know how many people are signed up to volunteer. I'm trying to think, last year there was a good turnout, but besides the firefighters, you guys, and the Parkland Horticultural Society, I believe, I don't know how many general
I don't
community
think general
members.
people came.
No.
My sense wasn't that it was
Yeah, it was
like,
volunteers.
if your point, Frank, is that we'll be talking to the public, my sense was that the public was not there. It was people
Correct.
who were on the inside,
Oh, okay.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And I've expressed that concern with EAC involvement in this event. And I've also expressed that this is a great event for the EAC to potentially continue to get involved with, to help change some of that, so that maybe it could be a little bit more volunteer engagement earlier on, and that it, could potentially change the scope.
Yeah,
And
so
so
this would be a great thing to bring.
Would it be something that at some point in the future you would see us leading, or is that
I think having a more secured role
okay?
earlier on,
Yeah.
before a few weeks before the event.
Yeah.
And I brought that up, and that's something that through the work plan, I think I put it in there, and I've talked to Herb and Linda Tula about trying to get you guys a list of events earlier on to say, so it's not just, oh, right, a month before an event, to say, these are the events throughout the year that we already are thinking of, and here's kind of the schedule. Let's think
I mean,
about
we could
what
have
your level.
anticipated Earth Day was coming up, to be fair.
Yes, yes.
It's not a surprise.
Yeah.
Can you- Sarah, can you bring up with Lisa Roth whether the environmental club, the park and high school want to participate in the Earth Day events?
That's an excellent idea, and I
I
think
think
if
they
you
want
can
to
get
work.
them there, the EAC would be an Earth Day hero, because I'll be honest,
No
you
pressure.
you guys saw the volunteers last year. It
Yeah.
was, it was
with
too
the
organized.
family.
Yeah,
It was nice.
it was.
Because you got to know the people in the family.
Yeah.
It was not like get to know the
But
community.
No.
community.
I had all my kids there, and their friends, I mean, it was great.
Well, yeah,
But
but
community.
There was not a lot of
is-
community.
Who did, what was his name? Guy who did this, he was on the Green Advisory Council with us.
Mike.
Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Mike was always saying, "God, who did he tap into? He always had a crew."
Yes. Yes. He spent a lot of time
Oh, okay.
getting those groups ready and
Okay.
in anticipation of that.
Reach out to Michael Elias.
No, crickets.
Quick, okay.
Yeah.
Don't remember.
Yeah. Yes. So, and I think that's a much more sustainable way to engage
Yes.
volunteers.
Yes.
Mhm.
With Randy.
And I would love to see that blossom potentially out of this group.
So then for 2027, then will be our plan to
Yes.
have that beefed up. For
Yes.
this year, perhaps we don't, we go, I'm planning on going anyway, just because I like to plan and contribute. And I'm more than happy to hand out hot dogs. My kids would love that. So
Yeah, so we can,
Yeah. And I'm not going to promise that. I'll ask, but that might be Public Works might not let you on the grill. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I'm
they-
gonna try that.
yeah. But no, I think it's a great idea. I do just caution, you might be, if you're not going to help with the work there might not be a lot of people doing the work there. But it's also, that's not really an EAC problem at this point. I mean, if 2 people can go, it's not like you're.
yeah, but we don't want the township to look at us and be like, oh, they showed up and didn't do the work.
Yeah,
We don't want that. either.
yeah. So I think, to your point, Frank, it's not going to be like other events where you're going to get a lot of people.
Right.
And if you guys can go and pitch in, but still have your stuff there, because it is in the park.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's, last
It's
year,
nice-
there
it was raining,
there
so
was
no
no
one
one
was there,
there.
That's-
But
Yeah.
if it's a sunny day,
It
there'll
was
be
lovely
families in the
there.
park, so we can, that would be.
But
Well,
I don't think a lot of
I-
people are going to the park in anticipation of volunteering for this event.
Yeah,
You might get a few passerbys
yeah.
as you're doing work, and maybe they'll pitch in, but
Does it go in the digital board?
yes, it usually does, yeah.
I don't mind doing the work if that's what we end up doing. but I'd
There's
probably
different
Dress
levels of it.
differently if I'm gonna be taking in third. if you got the EAC.
I think it'd be nice to, this is a dirtier event for the EAC, really hands-on. You guys have sat behind your golden table for a while.
Showing our commitment.
Since I probably won't go.
I figured that was
Yeah, I was thinking I'd go there and direct you. Plant that tree there, and call up that great.
Well, there was different levels, like you could go down to the far end, right, and there's like flowers.
It was very well planned last
Yeah,
year.
well,
It
I
sounds
don't,
like it's not the same
it's not,
this coming
Oh.
year.
yeah.
There will be less
Yeah.
happening.
I don't really know what they're doing.
Who's organizing?
I know.
Sandbridge is staying behind our.
Parks and Rec, Ally did a lot of work last year.
Ellie was amazing.
I honestly don't know. I mean, it says Allie's here. I didn't know if Allie was gonna be that involved. She's kind of shifted her role in the township, yeah. So it says she'll be here, but last year she developed the whole planting plan. So like there were specific plants at specific planters, like
And she talked to the kids.
Yeah.
She was teaching the kids about, I mean, it was
That's
great.
great.
Yeah.
She did such a beautiful job.
Herb did say he ordered a bunch of trees and plants and things like that. I don't really know where it's all going, but
Okay.
so
And they provided all the shovels.
yeah, all of that will be there. I don't know the details, and I apologize. I should have gathered information before that, but I will follow up, and I'll follow up tomorrow with both Lynn and Herb on this, just so you guys have more context.
for next year?
No, for this,
Oh,
well,
okay.
and for next year, and
But if, you know, if we can get contact with the environmental club at the high school and can bring in some volunteers, then it's definitely worth it for us to be there, right?
I'm wondering if the high school even knows about it.
or you meant the library, the,
No, she's meeting with Lisa.
oh, from the high school.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So I was saying,
Yeah.
why not talk to her about, you know,
Yeah.
somebody we could talk to in the environmental club at the high school. To see if
Yeah.
we can recruit some volunteers.
Maybe confirm that there's enough work to be done.
I will definitely do that, because
Yeah.
I mean,
Right,
it's a
because
legitimate
when we
concern.
Last, it sounded like they didn't have, maybe it's coming together. No, I know we're early, but, you know. You also don't want to have like a big group of people show up and then there's like 5 trees to be planted. 'Cause
Yeah,
that doesn't message
Yeah, that
out
doesn't
either.
look good.
yes.
Right.
Well, because I'm
So-
thinking like Boy Scouts, they would.
Sure, again, as long as, it's just gotta have the right amount of work, you know,
Mhm.
so.
I will
I'm not,
follow up.
that's just me imagining, then everybody wants to come, you know, but.
No,
in both
I've
directions,
I've
you know.
been at events like that, it's
Yeah.
done in 10 minutes and then
Yeah.
everyone's sitting around,
Yeah.
they
Yeah, you don't
wasted
want
half a day here.
Yeah.
I will follow up tomorrow with staff and I'll send out an email.
And moving on, Lehigh County Envirothon.
Yes.
Talk about that, Chris?
We talked about it a little bit last time, just that it's on your schedule there. I don't fully remember what we said. If you guys wanted to have some level of involvement this year, it'll be after the Earth Day event, and that's the thing. I wasn't sure about specific Earth Day because they had talked about maybe even shifting the day, but so that'll be the week after. That's at Cover Bridge Park, the high school on Wednesday, middle school on Friday.
Do you know how many volunteers they need for each of these groups? Because I've been there in the past.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'll look at my calendar, but I think I could, Wednesday would be better for me than Friday.
If you want to,
But
if you're serious about volunteering, I'll put you in touch with Laura Hopick, who runs it at the Conservation
You
District.
can tell me.
Yes, and because I said we might have some interest. Now, I will most likely be there Wednesday to kind of do like the township's like initial kickoff. But Wednesday's busier. I probably can't hang for the day. And then usually Friday, like I have all my clearances with them. So like I usually help with like a school group.
Yeah.
But usually what they need is like running tests, helping with food, serving food, anything like that. So if you're
Okay.
serious about like spending a decent amount of time there, we'll see if Laura has a specific need.
I don't mind talking to her because, like I said, I did it before. I'm not sure they're still doing it the same way, so I can get some information. from
Okay.
her.
If you could find out what the opportunities are and then email all of us.
Yeah, I think she kind of uses it like if she doesn't know you, she'll give you an easier job. But if it's like, oh no, that person's been there and like they're good on, but if it's, she also doesn't want to be overwhelmed with people asking her what to do.
Sure.
So
Oh,
if
yeah.
there's like a definite like, hey, I'm willing to do this, and it sounds like Marie, you are, then I'll email Laura tomorrow and just say like, if there's anything, you know,
That
she can talk to you
Yeah, she can
about.
talk to me because I'm thinking about the way they did it way back on
Mhm.
Wildlands.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I know that process, but what are they doing now?
Yeah. So often,
I mean, I might have some time available
okay.
on one of those days, so I
Okay,
know
so
what,
I can.
what they need and so I would,
Cool. Yeah, a lot of it, I think, would be just helping out with food, or they run the test back and forth because it's all spread out across the park.
and I have my clearances, so there's
Okay.
no issue there.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, okay, you can work with kids. Influences, mine is, I don't know. I don't know where I stand in that area.
Yeah, and it's oftentimes they just, so there's always schools that
5 years,
send,
so so.
yeah, they always send schools with like 3 groups and 1 teacher. So it's like, yeah, I usually get roped into helping out a little bit like
Right,
that.
right,
but-
so you have to have the clearance in order to be with the students.
Yeah.
If you did it now, it usually takes a couple weeks because you would just do it straightforward.
And one is immediate and then the other one took about a week to less than I did it, so.
What's her name again?
Laura Hopick.
Yeah.
HOP. So I will email her tomorrow and copy both of you and just let her know you guys are interested in any way you can and she'll figure it out.
Yeah, and I'll look at my calendar.
And even if you just came for lunch or something like that, just to kind of see,
Right.
you know, they usually have a lunch presentation. I don't think we should do a presentation for the EAC, but just to see how it runs. And then next year would be a great opportunity to do a presentation.
Well, like, when I went, oh, God, what's his name? Jeff Zaire.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Zaire would have been with what, the soap,
He was the,
right, he
was farmland preservation.
But what group was he with? Like way back, soils? I don't know. I was with Jeff and I was with, I think I was just at the soils.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I don't know that I did a whole lot.
Maybe just gave out a test and helped,
I
yeah,
don't
collect
know
them
that I
and,
did,
yeah.
but it was that kind of a thing.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's still a lot of those needs. But they have a pretty regular volunteer base, so that's where
Okay,
they
well,
Laura
that's
might
good.
say, hey, thank you, but we're your
Yes, it might be
activities are
good.
covered.
Yeah, and I went as and I think this is important too, you know, not to go on and on about it, but, you know, my daughter participated in the Envirothon. And I thought it was important to have parents there,
Mhm.
you know, for the sports events, parents are there, rah, 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 which is great. But in this particular event, you know, I just thought it was important that some of the parents show up
Mhm.
and support these kids. This is a lot of prep for this Envirothon. It's a big deal.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that's a part of what I was doing. You know, I just wanted to be there to show support for the Parkland team as well. So
I think it's great, and I think it's nice that we hosted here, and I think having the South Whitehall EAC even there just to support these kids as
Right.
like a host, you know, all we're doing is
Something
really
like that.
offering the land for them to do it. They run everything. But I think it shows a lot, and it shows that we're supportive of it.
yeah, that would be good. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Okay.
I just checked them out of town on Friday, May 1st, but I should be available on the 29th.
29.
That's usually the harder day too. The
Yeah.
29th is a lot busier. There's a lot more. Middle school is just a fun kind of thing for
Yeah,
them, but the
the
high
high
school
school
is a
one is-
legitimate competition where
Yeah.
they're trying to get
Yep.
to the state finals.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say, I could probably make Friday.
Okay.
So now you've just said that, you know, not
Come
like,
down for
fine,
lunch.
you don't need me, but.
Come down for lunch and meet some of the people there that I do, because I also think there's a great opportunity to consider partnerships with the conservation district and all the other people
Yeah.
involved there. I mean,
Yeah.
you have Fish and Boat Commission there, you have
Yes.
Wildlands there,
Yeah.
you have, I don't know if anyone specifically from DEP, but there's a lot of like DCNR forestry folks. It depends on the current issues program, which like shifts every year. Sometimes they bring in someone specific for that, but it's
Yeah.
just a great connection to environmental organizations.
That's who Jeff was with, the conservation district. That's some pretty.
Yes.
people.
Well, yeah, farmland and conservation district, they were right in the same
But when I
office.
saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay, and then if what was the person? Anyway, whatever the person, if they're needing
Laura.
help, Laura. sorry.
Yes.
If she needs help on Friday,
Yeah.
I could be there, or if I can just come down for lunch.
Yeah.
Marie, why don't you just coordinate? Contact her, and find out, you know,
What is the need?
what they need help with, and then you can figure out, you know.
Yeah.
How much
What
we can
and-
support.
Yeah. I'll send an email tomorrow because I already told Laura that I would talk to you guys
Oh,
about
okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And I just said, you know, I don't know what I didn't want to promise anything without talking to you guys first. So I'll follow up with her tomorrow and copy, you know,
The
the three of
copy
you.
us in. and
Yeah,
then
so
Yep.
she'll let us-
copy them.
Yep.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. And then she can let us all know.
Yes. Yeah.
And I assume you don't have to commit for the whole 5 hours if you got 2 hours.
No, most of the time it's like, hey, we need you in the morning to help out with registration and breakfast, or it's like if you can run tests, that's a little bit longer, but it's
Okay.
easier,
Okay.
or sometimes it's just helping with lunch or something.
All right.
Yeah, I remember helping with lunch too. Okay.
Good. I think we're done there, and so that's the defined agenda. Move it to courtesy of the floor. Anything that anybody wants to bring up? I will bring up that just today I got a communication from the Lehigh Valley EAC network. They're following through on their schedule to try and have different EACs host monthly meetings, either breakfast, lunch, or dinner at our choice. They put out a calendar for the whole year, and there are some open dates. So I don't know that we're quite ready to host one of these, but I do want to just keep that on our radar screen as something maybe toward the end of the year we want to do. I mean, the last one I went to, about 15 people attended. We would just have to pick a place where we could host it. And, we don't necessarily have to come up with a topic or anything.
We just choose a location.
Just choose a location, and
Oh, okay.
we'd have to make the arrangements with whoever the.
But we're not presenting in front of.
No, no, no.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
It's,
Gotcha.
it's meant to be an open exchange of ideas
Oh, I
from
gotcha.
all the different
I gotcha.
EACs.
Okay.
So,
Perfect.
I mean, I'll try to go to the next couple and then kind of see how useful it is, and then we can maybe revisit this in some, late spring or late summer as to whether we want to host something.
I also got that email, and I just wanted to point out that the months they have open later in the year are October, November, and December. Otherwise, it would be in the summer, and I don't think we're ready.
Yeah.
So, December, it's just nuts.
And if we wait, I mean, those months may get filled up anyway, so
That's what I'm
this may end up being a next year thing, but
Okay.
we'll just.
I think it would be great to get together with them.
Yeah. But I would want to try to do it at a time when more than just I could attend from our group, right? I think if we're hosting it, I'd like to see, a significant number of us be there for the event, just to kind of meet some people and tell them about who we are, so.
So to narrow it down, maybe to help, obviously, we can't do that now, but maybe if we threw out some dates in October and November.
Well, I guess the way they want to do it is we would pick the month and then they would work with us on a date. So it's not fully up to us to pick the date.
Oh, it's not, I missed that.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but I think we have some say in what the date is too, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like, they're not going
Right,
to tell
we have
us
to do
it
it.
has to be this day, but I mean, people can also start thinking about venues as well, where we might want to have something like this. So somewhere in the township. I mean, most of them have been at diners, so, I think we have a couple of diners in the township that qualify, so. All right. Do you want to say anything more about meeting with Lisa, or I think we covered that, or?
I'll have much more after I meet.
Okay.
But I did have one thing, and I noticed from the Penn State Extension, they're doing an invasive replacive.
Yes, so great.
Yeah, so you can replace up to 3 invasive trees and shrubs for free. You take a picture, you upload it, and they replace it with up to 3 plants. Ours in our area in Allentown is on 5:30 from 10 to 12:30 p.m. It didn't say where in
Yeah,
Allentown.
it's at the, gallery, what do you call it? The office.
It's
there.
on May 30th, when you said 5, you mean May 30th?
May 30th.
Yeah,
gotcha.
The
Okay.
Sorry,
office
no.
in Dorney Park.
5:30, 10:30.
Office.
Yeah, near Dorney Park, I guess it's the
Co-op.
extension office.
The extension.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, right down the street, Cedar Brook
5:30,
Road.
so that's a Saturday.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
Saturday.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm catching up.
So do you take your invasives, or you just go and you
Take
send
a
them a picture
photo,
and
yeah.
then pick up trees?
You're,
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
don't you have to
cool.
order, and you have to let them know that you're gonna be doing this.
They're trying to get rid of like 8 different or 9 different
Right.
specific types.
So you
I-
go to their website and they'll tell you which ones.
Yes.
do it. Oh,
but
gotcha.
If you have another one that's not on that list, I'm not sure if that
Right, but isn't it a first come, first serve?
probably.
That's what I think I read, because I got that email as well, so, but it's a
Can we
great.
just replace stuff that is other people's houses?
Go with it.
That's funny.
I'd love to replace all those Bradford pews on my street. I'd love to do that.
What year were we planting them? Like they were just planting them everywhere.
Oh, everywhere, because and
Early 2000s, maybe?
Early
Yeah.
2000s.
All those
Before
burning
that.
bushes.
Oh,
and-
really?
I remember I was in high school, they were complaining about them Like I worked for the township and they were pulling them out, like, and that was
Oh, wow.
early 90s.
Yeah.
They were pulling out then?
Because they were horrible trees, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and boy, did they.
They would fall over and they were just causing more trouble than there were.
Oh, they are, yeah, and the birds,
Mhm.
boy, don't leave your car out.
Yeah.
It's a bad story. It's a bad story. And then they do, yeah, they do go in. I mean, in our woods, you know, we kind of have to always be looking for those and
Mhm.
some of the others that are on that list.
Mhm.
Yanking, pulling.
Spread.
Now that Marie has planted that visual in all our minds,
Yeah.
anything else you want
Walking
to?
around.
That's great. Now we'll get rid of it. And yeah, one of these other acceptable trees.
Do we, I don't know what is normally done, but do we want to talk about sort of what the goal would be for the next meeting to work on?
I'm open to that. I would love that.
Got ideas? I mean, let's.
Well, the open space mapping and the ordinances and policies have come up several times as things that I know you have tons of work to do in
So,
advance of that.
one of the
and
things I
maybe-
thought about just today was,
Yeah,
would it be helpful, because I don't want to commit myself to doing too much ahead of the next meeting for you guys to look at, but would it be helpful to, in the past, I had almost like a Gantt chart of where some other stuff falls in, and I think I can adapt some of that to some of these goals, because I think like official map is a big thing, and we've talked about like that has a couple of steps in front of it,
Mhm.
and maybe that is something to just kind of talk about, and it also gives me a couple weeks to maybe.
I don't want to give you an
Yeah.
extra goal before.
Yeah, but
It's just extra work.
well, and I kind of have to do it for the planning commission anyway,
Sure.
so
If that's the case, then,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if there's other things.
yeah, I mean, that might help spur more of a specific conversation. It'll give me a little bit of breathing space to say where we're at with something that can come back sooner than later. I'm thinking probably the most tangible thing out of here that I can have in front of you may be open space specific ordinance revisions.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting.
And that would be tied in with Jordan Valley overlay. So it's like one
Yeah.
piece would come into you guys
Yeah.
probably before like the rest of the Jordan Valley overlay, but at least it's something to look at and see where it fits in the puzzle.
Yeah, I don't think the goal would be to give you lots of extra work that's in the wrong time, but if there's a way that we can fit our meetings in.
And that's why I think that
Yeah.
Gantt chart of all the
Sure.
pieces, like
Yeah.
you'll see what's in kind of not just this work plan, but my work plan from like staff priorities, and then where there's other things that like are waiting on some sort of outside influence. Like the unfortunately official map piece, we're gonna have to wait until some of the pieces of the transportation stuff is adopted.
Oh, yeah, right.
And so that's gonna be, we could get it all to a point, but it won't be adopted until a little bit later. So I think it'd be helpful to show that.
Yeah, and I'm realizing Frank and I, we didn't do a formal report out because we read the many pages of the transportation plan. Yeah, and it was,
170.
I just,
Phase one.
for all of,
another 60
for all
for
of you,
phase two.
it is
Wow.
incredible, the amount of work that, it
very
is
detailed.
really beautiful, the amount of work that went in. And it's very exciting, the things that were talked about that were related to what we're talking about. What we've been interested in terms of active transportation and bike lanes and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of beautiful dreams in it, and you know,
Make those dreams a reality.
yeah. So I don't know, you know, which of them. I don't know how prioritization is going to go because there's a lot of really cool stuff.
So
in
Chris,
different
can we,
areas,
in the meeting minutes, can we include the notes I sent you and the notes?
Yeah,
Molly sent you?
That would actually be great. Yeah, I'll add that
And
in
then
as just like
that
a
way,
correspondence.
Because I know we were just communicating among the three of us, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like a subcommittee report out type of thing.
And then
Yeah.
let's put an agenda item next month to just talk about, you know, if anyone
Yeah.
has any comments on those.
Yeah.
That would be the agenda item.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
So, you know, you guys can review the
So,
2 pages of notes, not
This is
the,
great.
yeah.
He did a
Yes,
great
but all the
job.
work,
I mean,
now we
there
can-
wasn't a lot extra for me.
but I'm thrilled that you guys read it, and
Yeah.
I can tell that you read it because you
Yeah.
pulled out specific stuff, and yeah.
Yeah.
So for next meeting, we'll have kind of just a kind of quick summary of the notes that you guys put together on the transportation plan. I'll update sort of my Gantt chart of projects, how it relates to your work plan and some of the other initiatives going on. And then I also have for you to report out on your conversation, your upcoming conversation. And there'll be a lot to report out on
All the events.
all the events that are coming up.
It'll be a busy meeting.
And the other wild card is
Project Atlas,
right?
yes.
I mean, when that comes down the road, we're gonna have to jump on that pretty quickly when
Yeah.
when
It
there's-
won't be on for April because it
Right,
hasn't
yeah.
been,
But
but-
once a formal plan is submitted to the planning commission, then we'll have.
It's not gone in front of the planning commission, right?
No, and
Because
it's
I got
not
a
going in
text
April.
on Thursday from some scammer trying to get
Okay,
me to
I've
attend
been
the
hearing
planning
that.
commission
Yeah.
meeting and
No, it's,
throw shade on the situation. I was
No,
like,
it-
"Oh,
Yeah, I got a
hasn't
text.
Did you get that too?
He asked me to come to the board of commissioners.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right, or, yeah, names of the BOC, yeah.
yeah, so it hasn't gone. So what will probably, I think what would be best is just to prepare whenever that comes in, obviously I'll give you guys notice on like whatever month that's gonna come in. Maybe if there's a lot of stuff to do, but maybe if we could kind of pivot to having almost a full meeting
Yeah.
dedicated to that, I think just because of, public and to get through some of that. So just keep that in mind as far as instead of trying to squeeze it in with an agenda, that maybe we'll just sort of shift as soon as we know that.
But you were saying,
Realistic.
you were saying something, Chris, about that it's not going to the planning commission. You did.
In April.
Not, yeah,
In April.
not yet.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
It will,
Yeah.
but not
So
yet.
it
Yeah.
won't be on your April meeting because it hasn't been
Gotcha.
submitted for April.
Gotcha. Okay, very good.
So, since we have a couple people online, anybody online want to say anything during the courtesy of the floor? Okay, take that as a no. So before we adjourn and before Mark's head explodes, we have a video to review.
Let me see. I'm just gonna turn that off for a second just to see.
You don't have to, if it comes up great.
Let me see if it comes up.
Okay.
I don't know if it went through. It's a big video, Mark. It seems like it's,
7 seconds.
yeah.
I don't know. You're gonna have
No,
to
I
give
don't
us-
think it's sent. The attachment might have been.
Okay.
You have to give us a synopsis here. Yeah, what's all
Let's see. No, I didn't go. We just have this.
Many of you may not know, but I am constitutional law, which is not an easy feat to take.
Oh, wow.
And
Constitutional
many people question, how could I do with all these brilliant young students? Could Mark deliver? And I got my midterm exam, and I think I got the greatest midterm exam maybe in the history of Muhlenberg College. This was the exam. This is a grade. A plus 6 times. Unheard of. And I got a standing ovation from the class and the professor. So I am proud to say that Mr. Bassis is not only a senior scholar, but he delivered on the results. Thank you.
All right.
That's
Congratulations.
Hey,
Very well
hey,
done.
hey.
Constitutional law.
Yeah, yeah.
That's excellent. Yeah.
This is enlightenment. So don't embarrass me at the recycling center.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's some folks that could use your help.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the White House.
Yeah.
All right, but before we get too far,
Yes, thank you.
it's appropriate now to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Make a motion.
Anybody want to second the motion?
Second.
Okay, great. Have a second. All right, super. We're out of here. Right, right.
Good job.
8:30. Good job, everybody.
Wow,